The Legend of the Wassail Bowl. Once upon a time, in a small village in England, there lived a kind and jolly old man named Thomas. Thomas loved Christmas more than anything else in the world. Every year, he would gather the villagers together to celebrate with joy and laughter. One of his favorite traditions was making a special drink called Wassail. Wassail was a warm and spicy drink made with apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, and honey. Thomas would make a big bowl of wassail and invite everyone in the village to come and share it. It was a time for singing, dancing, and telling stories by the warm, crackling fire. One cold winter evening, just a few days before Christmas, Thomas was busy preparing the wassail in his little kitchen. He chopped the apples, stirred in the spices, and poured in the honey. The sweet and spicy smell filled the air, making everyone's mouth water. As he worked, he hummed a cheerful tune and thought about how happy the villagers would be. But this year, something was different. The village had been through a tough time. The harvest had not been good, and many people were feeling sad and worried. Thomas wanted to make this Christmas extra special to lift everyone's spirits. As he finished making the wassail, he heard a soft knock at his door. When he opened it, he found a little girl standing there. Her cheeks were rosy from the cold, and she looked up at Thomas with big, hopeful eyes. "Hello, little one," Thomas said kindly. "What brings you here on this chilly night?" The girl, whose name was Lily, smiled shyly. "I heard about your wassail, Mr. Thomas. My mama and papa are very sad because we don't have much food this year. I thought maybe if we could have some wassail, it would make them smile." Thomas's heart melted at Lily's words. He knelt down and gave her a warm hug. "Of course, Lily, you and your family are welcome to join us for the wassail celebration. It's for everyone, especially those who need a little extra cheer." Lily's eyes sparkled with joy. "Thank you, Mr. Thomas. I'll go tell my mama and papa right away." As Lily ran back to her home, Thomas continued to prepare for the celebration. He hung bright, colorful decorations all around his house and set up a big table in the center of the room. On the table, he placed the large bowl of steaming wassail along with plates of cookies and other treats. When the night of the celebration arrived, the villagers gathered at Thomas's house. The room was filled with the warm glow of candles and the sound of cheerful music. Everyone took turns sipping the delicious wassail and sharing stories and laughter. Thomas stood by the fire, watching the happy faces of his friends and neighbors. He saw Lily and her family, their worries forgotten for a while as they enjoyed the festive evening. Thomas felt a warm glow in his heart, knowing that the wassail had brought a bit of magic and joy to their lives. As the night went on, Thomas led the villagers in singing traditional Christmas carols. Their voices rang out into the snowy night, carrying the spirit of the season to everyone who could hear. The children danced and played, their giggles filling the room with pure happiness. The next day, Thomas woke up early, his heart full of excitement. He decided to visit each house in the village with a small cup of wassail to spread more cheer. He bundled up in his warm coat, scarf, and hat, and filled a large pot with the steaming drink. With a big smile, he set off on his journey through the snowy village. First, he visited the Smith family. Mr. and Mrs. Smith were busy tending to their farm animals, looking tired and cold. Thomas approached them with a friendly wave and handed them each a cup of wassail. "Merry Christmas," he said cheerfully. The Smiths' faces lit up as they sipped the warm, delicious drink. "Thank you, Thomas," said Mr. Smith. "This is just what we needed to warm up and feel festive." Thomas continued his journey, visiting house after house, spreading warmth and joy with his wassail. At each home, he was met with smiles and gratitude. The villagers were touched by his kindness and felt their worries melt away with each sip. When Thomas reached Lily's house, he found her playing outside with her little brother, Jack. They were building a snowman, their cheeks rosy and their eyes shining with happiness. "Hello, Lily. Hello, Jack," Thomas called out. Lily and Jack ran over to him, their faces beaming. "Mr. Thomas, thank you for the wassail last night," Lily said. "Mama and Papa were so happy. We had the best time." Thomas handed them each a small cup of wassail. "I'm so glad to hear that, Lily. Here, have some more to keep you warm while you play." As Lily and Jack drank the warm, spicy drink, their mother came out of the house to thank Thomas. "You have brought so much joy to our family, Thomas. We are truly grateful." Thomas continued his visits until the sun began to set. As he made his way back home, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The village was filled with laughter and cheer, and he knew that this Christmas would be one to remember. That night, the villagers gathered once more at Thomas's house. They brought their own treats to share, and the table was overflowing with delicious food. The room was filled with the sound of happy chatter, and the air was thick with the spirit of Christmas. Thomas looked around at the smiling faces and felt a warm glow in his heart. He realized that the true magic of Christmas wasn't in the wassail itself, but in the love and kindness that it represented. By sharing with each other, they had created a bond that would last long after the holidays were over. As the evening came to a close, Thomas stood up and raised his cup of wassail. "To the most wonderful village and the most wonderful people," he said, "may our hearts always be filled with the spirit of Christmas, and may we always find joy in sharing and caring for one another." The villagers raised their cups and cheered. To Thomas, to Christmas, to love and kindness. After the celebration, the villagers returned to their homes, their hearts filled with the warmth of friendship and community. They knew that no matter what challenges they faced, they could always count on each other for support and love. Thomas sat by the fire, sipping his own cup of wassail, feeling content and happy. He knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome any hardship. And so, the tradition of the wassail bowl continued in the village, year after year. It became a symbol of love, kindness, and togetherness, reminding everyone that even in the toughest times, the magic of Christmas could bring light and joy to their hearts. Moral of the story: we learned that the true spirit of Christmas is about sharing and caring for each other. When we come together and show kindness, we can make even the saddest hearts happy. It's not about the presents or the food, but the love and joy we give to one another that makes Christmas special. Let's always remember to be kind and spread happiness wherever we go.